Hi, and welcome to Therapy Explained. My name is Denise Cantor. I'm the therapist of color for people of color and your very own mental health cheerleader. I post videos about all things mental health because I believe that even though mental health treatment can be inaccessible, mental health information should not be. If you agree with me and would like to support this cause, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment below. You can also help spread the word by sharing this video. Every video also comes with its own cheat sheet where I review all of the points made in the video. So to get yours, make sure that you follow me on Instagram at Talk Therapy. That's TOC Therapy, because after all, I am the therapist of color. Today's video is a second video on my relationship series throughout the month of February. I'm covering topics about how to develop healthy, intimate, safe relationships, whether that's platonic or romantic, and whether or not you are currently in a relationship. So make sure to watch that first video. I introduced what attachment theory is, and I went very briefly over all of the types of attachments. But today we're going to delve deeper into what the anxious attachment is like. So let's start by talking about what attachment style or attachment type anxious attachment is. So anxious attachment is one of the three under the umbrella of the insecure attachment style. This means that we probably had a caregiver who wasn't able to meet our needs and take care of us, make us feel safe that consistently. There might be an array of traumas that you might have experienced that helped shape this attachment style, but the good news is that you don't have to stay in this attachment style. We can learn how to model some of the behaviors of the secure attachment style in order to help us develop healthy relationships. The anxious attachment style tends to think that they are not worthy of love. That even though they want intimacy and connection with people, that those people might be too good for them or might think that they are too good for them. We crave that connection, but have a hard time putting ourselves out there. One of the superpowers of the anxious attachment style is that they're really good at reading other people's behaviors and facial expressions. So you'd probably be really good at noticing when somebody needs something emotionally, or when there's been a shift, even the slightest shift in your relationship with someone. That can make you a really good friend and a really good caregiver. However, it's hard for you to feel that same level of love, affection, and attention reciprocated. Oftentimes, we think of the anxious attachment style as someone who is needy, and I really want to challenge this belief. And this is because you're only as needy as your needs go unmet. There's something that you need emotionally that is very important to you that you're not being given in your relationships, and that's why it feels so big. So what do we do? How do we help ourselves get closer to a secure attachment and develop healthy relationships that meet our needs? Boundaries and communication skills. We want to use healthy boundaries to communicate to other people that we're not an open door. We're not going to just give everything to everyone, that people need to earn our love and affection. And this part will be particularly difficult. Getting to grow into your own love and learning how to appreciate all the things that you give to other people is going to be key, because you have to come from a place of confidence of being able to tell people that you are pretty great. And in order to earn all those really great things about you, they're going to have to work for it. So boundaries are pretty important. To learn more about them, make sure that you check out my upcoming video on this relationship series about how to set healthy boundaries. The second thing is we want to use healthy communication skills. So they're going to help us develop and set those boundaries, but they're also going to help us communicate our needs to the people around us. We want to be respectful, but we also want to be confident and assertive. So I'm going to also be covering communication skills on a future video, so make sure that you check that out. But really what this is going to look like is maintaining the focus on what you're feeling and what your experience is as you're communicating what your needs are, and really focusing on that and how the other person can meet those needs. So now that we have this idea of, okay, I can use boundaries and I can use healthy communication skills, but I don't know what my needs are. So this is a really good place for us to start. Make a list of what your needs are. I sometimes assign the homework of watching your favorite romantic movie, or maybe even a book where the main character or a character in this movie, TV show, book is your ideal partner. Write down all of the things that they're doing that make you feel like they would be the perfect partner. Make sure to notice the little things. Maybe they remember their partner's favorite snack, favorite music, favorite, movies or places to go to. Maybe that's what's going to make you feel loved. Maybe they're really affectionate and they're very vocal about their love. So write down all those little things that this character is doing that make you feel like they would be a great partner. There is no limit to this. You deserve the partner that you want, but in order to figure out what that is, it's important for us to develop that insight to practice identifying what those behaviors are. Once you have that list, rank them based on what your non-negotiable needs are. Like I mentioned, perhaps you like a partner who will notice the little things, but it's not necessarily a non-negotiable. Or maybe that partner shares your favorite food in common, but is not a non-negotiable. You might be open to developing a relationship with someone who doesn't like the same foods as you do, doesn't like the same music as you do, but has all the other things that you would like in your relationship. So make sure that you are ranking what those important things are for you and what your non-negotiables will be. Then you can use boundaries and healthy communication skills to express them and maintain them in your relationships. Oftentimes in a relationship, and when your anxious attachment style is activated, you will feel, just as the name says, anxious. You might have a lot of anxious thoughts, telling yourself that this person is going to leave you because they sounded different over the phone, they're not texting you as often, they're not answering their calls as often as they used to, they're not sending you as many gifs as they used to. But what's important is challenging those thoughts. Because you've already identified what your needs are in your relationship, communicating them is going to be your next step. What this looks like, for example, is if you have a partner who perhaps, or friend, who perhaps was texting you back consistently, and you notice this small change, point it out. Remember not to jump to conclusions. Try to give the other person the benefit of the doubt. So just say, hey, I noticed this changed. I wanted to make sure that we were okay. And it's all right to do that. And it's also okay to say, hey, if you're busy and can't text me back for a long time, do you mind just letting me know that you received my message? Or let me know that you're busy so that I know that you got my message and you see it, and now I just have to wait till you have time to get back to me. Ultimately, if this is a core need for you, communication, and you don't want to wait 2 to 3 days for your partner or your friend to get back to you, it's okay for you to have that boundary. Communicate that to the other person, and just like you are allowed to have your own needs and boundaries, they're allowed to have theirs. So ultimately, if they say, I just can't get back to you sooner than 2 or 3 days, then maybe it's time to reassess that relationship. And that's okay. I know that sounds scary, but letting go of people who don't fit you is good for you. You're making room for people who will. So before I let you go, let's review. The anxious attachment style tends to feel pretty anxious because they're very good at noticing any small change in facial features or behaviors from people. This can be a superpower because it makes you a really good caregiver, but it can also get difficult for you to feel that same of love and affection reciprocated. Remember to use your healthy boundaries and healthy communication skills to communicate what your needs are, and that can help you or what can help you with that is to develop a list of what your needs are so that you can communicate them. And lastly, try to model some of the same behaviors of a secure attachment by giving the other person the benefit of the doubt and going calmly, not assuming, but pointing out what the changes are and expressing what those needs are for you that you need in a relationship. Of course, lastly, and this is a bonus that I haven't covered before, but use your coping skills. You're still going to feel anxious, and that's okay, but what's important is to learn how to use your coping skills to self-soothe while you're communicating these needs for yourself. If you give any of these a try, or if you felt this video was useful, make sure to comment below and give this video a thumbs up. I also want to mention that if you want to learn a little bit more about attachment styles and how to use your attachment style in order to develop healthy relationships, I'm going to go ahead and link a book below that is really good. It's called Attached, and it even has a quiz where you can see what your attachment style is and what your potential partner or friend's attachment style is, so it can be a little bit more helpful. I'll link that below for you if you want to check that out. And of course, as always, remember, I'm always cheering for you.